This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
So in theory, being nickel or dime a lot should not be leading to gas running plays even?
No, I mean, it may, I think as long as you're fundamentally sound and your scheme sound, I think you give yourselves an opportunity to defend a run. You may be, playing something a little bit heavier than the other, and there may be, some things that you need to react to. And you may see some runs, or some people may break tendencies based on what you have out there. But I would say, just from an overall standpoint, just fundamentally, one, we got to coach it better, and two, we got to execute it better.
One other quick thing for me, Raekwon Davis, Flo said he's back this week. How much is he going to help just from a run defense standpoint?
Oh, we'd love to have Raekwon back. I know he's working hard to get back, and we'll kind of take it day to day and see how he's doing. He's obviously, he's a good football player. We're excited to have him, and and I know he's working hard. So hopefully he'll work his way back. I'm sure he will as soon as he can.
Thank you.
Jalen Phillips was able to get his first sack last game. It seemed like he got some good pressure. So what have you seen from him for the past quarter of the season, and what do you think he's improved the most?
Well, I think it's one of those things that, kind of like we talked about, a month ago. I think he's a diligent worker. He comes in, puts a good day's work in, and, he's working hard to improve some things that he needs to improve. And, the things that aren't going so well, he's working to improve those. So I would say, Jalen is going to get better, and because of his work ethic and his skill set, and I think he gets a little bit more comfortable, and the more experience he has, the better off he'll be. So that's true for all young guys. Like, you can't buy experience. You got to go out there and experience it, and and I know he's learning things as he goes, and there's a lot of things for us to build on, and there's some of the things that we got to get corrected.
I'm not sure if you've answered any questions about this before, but we noticed during the opening period of practice, he's often working along another system. Like, he's not with the linebackers or the defensive line. I guess I don't know if you decided to have that be the case, but what's the plan? What's the thinking behind that? How do you kind of work by himself during the individual period?
Well, again, like, I'm not sure how much of the practice you guys are out there, or how much of it you can observe. I would say, Jalen does a lot of different work with a lot of different groups. I think sometimes there's some things that he hits individually, but I would say for the most part, he's probably with one group or the other.
Yeah, I was just curious. I know, during the first 15 minutes when the positional groups go break out to the respective groups, sometimes he's kind of on the sideline, maybe working with an assistant on maybe a dummy or something like that. So I'm just curious about that.
Sometimes it may be a specific thing unique to him that we think that will help him and benefit. So I think, ideally what you're trying to do is you're trying to put the guys in the best position to succeed, and whatever you think will supplement or get that better, then obviously, those are things that we'll work on. And if we feel like that, there's something that he needs to do that another group maybe is doing something else, then, we've got a lot of good assistants on this staff. So, a lot of faith in a lot of guys to get things done, so we can divvy it up between guys.
I don't know if you guys call it this, but the media has begun to call it this, the amoeba defense. I don't even know if that's the right name for it, where guys are standing around and are you utilizing that as much as you did last year? And I know this is a game plan specific thing, and if so, why is it not being as effective as it was in last year?
Yeah, I think it's very game plan specific to when we use it, why we use it, what we're trying to get out of it. A lot of times we do it with different personnel groupings on the field. The production of it just depends probably on, like, because there's different versions of it. So, I think we go in each week and be like, okay, we feel like this is the best thing to do with this group, or this is the best thing to do with this group. That kind of determines whether we use it or don't use it. Again, I would say, probably when you look at seasons on the whole, I would say our usage of it is probably pretty similar. Pretty similar. Again, I think it's all very, very much game plan based, and what we're trying to do and who we're trying to affect. I think those are the things that go into consideration when you're deciding, okay, this is what we want to do, and then understanding, how much other stuff that you have in the game plan and how much you could get practiced in the week, because you really don't want to put the players in a position where, okay, we're just going to throw something in that we haven't done.
Such a big part of your guys' defense is to confuse the quarterback and disguise coverages. How hard is it to do that to Tom Brady, who's really seen it all and has seen a lot of what you guys do on defense?
Yeah, he, again, I would say he, we were talking earlier about rookies, and you can't buy experience. Tom's had 2 decades of experience of seeing stuff and seeing it in live action, and he's very good at film study. He's very good of being very aware of his opponent. He'll know things about guys that would surprise you. And just having conversations with him over the years of things that he looks at, things that he sees. So it's very hard to confuse him. You can't make it easy for him, but he is very quick to diagnose, and he's a very good and very quick decision maker. And those things, and again, it makes it challenging for the defense. So it's as a competitor myself, it's an exciting week for us. We know we're going against a very talented quarterback with a very talented skill set. Probably people don't talk about their offensive line enough. They work very well together. They're very physical. He's got good backs. He's got good tight ends. He's got good receivers. They got good scheme. Coach Arians and Coach Leftwich, they've done a great job there. And, it's going to be a big challenge for us, for sure.
Now, as a football historian, which you definitely earned that props from me. You taught me a lot about Shula that I did not know, and I've lived here my whole life. I know you're biased, but where do you stack him up in the GOAT conversation? Like, what's your top 3 GOATs of quarterback?
I'm not one for comparisons. I think when you get into that stuff, that's probably for somebody else. It's like art. Like, I can't paint anything. I can't build anything. But I can appreciate a painting. I can appreciate sculpture. I can appreciate woodwork. I kind of look at, when you're talking about the totality of careers, from a coaching standpoint, you look at guys like Curly Lambeau, you look at George Halas, Paul Brown, like those guys would be like bedrocks of the NFL. Quarterbacks, there's been so many good ones over the years. I mean, Roger Staubach, Fran Tarkenton, Joe Montana, and I'm going to miss 100 of them because there's been a lot of good ones. Dan Marino, who is, I've been so blessed in my life to get to be around Tom Brady, to get to be around Dan Marino, who not only is a great NFL player, quarterback, he's an even better person. He's a down-to-earth guy. I've had many conversations with him, watched games with him. I've watched some of his games with him, and it's amazing to see. Okay, the recall and the plays, and he's like, hey, okay, I can remember the corner was going to do this, so I told Duper to do this. I think those comparisons are probably, I don't know, they're probably for you guys, the talk show host. I look at it more like I do a piece of art, which I don't know, and I don't know, I couldn't tell you if it was Monet or Manet. I wouldn't know, but I'd be like, okay. I'm pretty sure both of them are impressionists. I mean, you do have to quote me on that. I don't know, but I can appreciate good play at no matter what position. I appreciate good coaching. I appreciate just good football in general. And like you could go watch a good football game at the Parkland Rec League. That it may happen, and I would appreciate that. I think the things that Tom's done, over his years, he would certainly be in the conversation of great ones for sure. And I think I've been fortunate to be part of some of that. And again, I think when you just look back at totality type stuff, I'll leave the comparisons for everybody else. But I'm very appreciative that two of the best of all time I've got to be around, Tom Brady and Dan Marino, and I would say personally I cherish those moments.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Josh, would Tom, just have one quick thing, would Tom ever good-naturedly trash talk you defensive backs in practice? And of course everybody likes him, his teammates and coaches like him, but would that ever happen?
Tom's a very competitive guy. He's a very competitive guy. So, he gets very emotional. It's controlled, and he's very controlled with it. But I know he's very competitive. Like I said, we got a big challenge this week, but I'm excited for it. I think anybody that's a competitor gets excited about that. So he's definitely a very competitive guy.
Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you.
The way I
This is the Big O Show.